welcome back to my channel. Today I have a prom makeup tutorial for you. It's a nice dramatic smoky eye, but it's very neutral. It's got some shimmer, got some glitter, it's got a little pop of color. And I show you guys my tips and tricks for doing your face makeup to let it stay all night long. Really just sweat-proof makeup. Just showing you guys my favorite primers, my favorite setting powders, and things like that to just really help make sure that the makeup stays on all night long. You don't want any creasing, any, oiliness or anything like that. So with this makeup look, you guys can achieve that for sure. Let me know what you guys are doing for prom. If you guys recreate this look, I would absolutely love to see it. Please make sure to tag me on Instagram or send me pictures, however you want, and Snapchat me, do whatever. I really want to see you guys' looks. Please ask me any questions if you have any questions. So if you guys like this video and if you guys want to see more tutorials and more videos from me, then please press the subscribe button down below. And don't forget to like this video if you liked it. And yeah, thank you guys so much again for watching. And if you guys want to achieve this makeup look, then just keep watching. So first, what I'm going to do before I even go into my eyes, I'm going to actually apply my primer, because I like to do my primer before I do my eyes just so that it can really sink into the skin and really kind of be effective before you go in with like your face makeup. So since this is prom and since we want our makeup to last all night long and to just be staying put, I'm going to use one of my favorite primers of all time, and this is the Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer. I heard about this through Makeup by Shayla or Makeup Shayla. I think I always say it wrong. I've used quite a bit of it, if you can kind of see, and it's really good. It's like kind of a solid / cream primer. I just dip into it with my finger, and just like a little tiny amount is all you need. I've already moisturized, but now I'm just going in with the primer, and I kind of just use patting motions. Next, I always like to moisturize my lips before I go in with any other, product or whatever while I'm doing my eyes. And so I'm going to be using the Milani Moisture Lock Coconut Oil Infused Treatment. It's kind of glossy. I feel like a little bit goes a long way if you're just trying to moisturize your lips. So it's great for summer. I really recommend it because it's got that almond coconut scent, and I really love coconut in the summer. I think most people do. I'm doing just kind of a neutral look but with a pop of color. So first, what I'm going to do is prime my eyelids. This is so important, you guys, to prime your eyelids. A lot of people use just concealer, which is fine. That works too, but I'm going to be going in with this Urban Decay Anti-Aging Eyeshadow Primer Potion. I like to take a little bit on the back of my hand, and please don't mind my hands. I don't think I'm ever going to self-tan again because I'm not very good at it at all. But I'm just going to put that on my eyelid, and you might be wondering why I'm not using Soft Ochre by MAC, and that's because I lost it and I don't know where it is, and I'm really sad about it. I need to go get a new one. I just haven't had the time to go get one yet. So to make sure that your eye look is just sharp and on point, you want to use magic tape. I use just the matte finish magic tape Scotch, just whatever you have is fine. Okay, so next I'm just going to take a flat shader brush, and I'm going to dip into one of my favorite eyeshadow bases ever, and it is Blanc Type from MAC, and I believe their eyeshadows are now only $6, so take advantage of that. I feel like I could do this in like a drugstore haul now just because of the price, even though it's not, you can't actually get it at a drugstore. But I like to just kind of mute out my eyelid. Doing this will help blend out other eyeshadows on top. So I always like to go in with a bone colored eyeshadow before I go in with other colors. Okay, so now I'm going to be taking Soft Brown by MAC, which is one of my favorite eyeshadow colors right here. It's really good to go in and just kind of work into the crease and get some colors going before you go in with darker shades. I really like to layer colors and start with lighter colors and then go darker. So I really just like to work that in my crease. So this is a color that you really don't have to be timid with. You can really just go in and just work it in, and it's going to look great no matter what you do. Okay, so now I'm going to take these two shades right here out of the MANNYMUA palette, and I'm just going to mix them together, and it's Frappe and Sora. Those are the two colors that I'm mixing together. I'm just going to take it on a blending brush, tap it off, and work it into my outer crease or outer V, and then I'm going to bring it into the crease. Just focusing kind of in the crease, blending out, layering colors together. So next I'm gonna take this foiled eyeshadow, which I am obsessed with, and it's called Luna out of the palette. It's right here. It's so pretty. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add it to my inner part of my eye right here. So I'm gonna use this eye shading brush. It's E55. I wouldn't typically recommend this type of brush just because it's better to use like a MAC 242 or something a little bit more stiff, but I'm running out of brushes, and so I'm just kind of improvising, to be honest. So I'm gonna use this. This is a, I wanna say it's a foiled eyeshadow that they have by Makeup Geek, and they're absolutely gorgeous. I normally would use a glitter glue underneath, but we really don't need it, because look at that. It is just gorgeous. Absolutely love it. Just patting it onto the lid. You can be a little messy because we're gonna clean it up. So if you wanted to run in and get something quick from the drugstore that is pretty much the same thing as the shade, it's very, very similar, I would say, go and get a L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadow in the shade Amber Rush. It's pretty much, well, I just want to say it's pretty much the same thing. It's very, very similar. But this is a gorgeous shade. But I know that this palette is really hard to get your hands on. And I know I'm putting these videos up right before prom. So if you can't order them, if you don't have them on hand, then just get L'Oreal Infallible Shadow in Amber Rush. I'm gonna get my finger and just kind of dab and make sure that it is on there nice and good. Now I'm just gonna take this fluffy brush and I'm going to kind of dust off whatever came up in the crease, because I don't want that. I don't want that sparkle up in the crease. I want to kind of stay down low. Now I'm gonna dip into the shade Aphrodite, and it's this shade right here. It's a nice chocolatey rich brown color. And then I'm just gonna use the pencil brush, dip in, tap off the excess, and now I'm just gonna work it into that outer V. Not really going above the crease. Just kind of packing it in right there. Kind of give some dimension to the eye. Just kind of add a little bit of richness and depth just to pop that darker color in. Just kind of keep adding as much as you want. You can do less than this, you can do more. It's really whatever you want to do. Want to make sure that it is blended and there's no harsh lines right here. Now what I'm gonna do is just dip into this shade Sora, and it's right in the middle. It's just like a nice, sort of like a deeper soft brown color. It's a more peachy soft brown from MAC. So dipping into that, it's beautiful. I just want a tiny bit of product, and I'm just gonna bring it back into the crease up there because I want there to be that dimension aspect to the eye. It's nice and pretty. It just kind of brings back a little bit of warmth. And what I'm going to be using today is this L'Oreal Super Slim Liquid Eyeliner. It's the 12-Hour Infallible. I really like their Infallible line. It is really, really good. From their foundation to their eyeshadows, now to their eyeliner. It's really good, but what I'm gonna do is just do a cat eye. So it's just gonna be simple and basic. Just do it however you want it. You can make it as big as you want it. You can do it as small as you want it. You can leave out the cat eye if you don't want a cat eye. But I want a cat eye for prom. The taper really helps with the shadow, with the cat eye, with everything. It's a huge helper. Peel it off and see what it looks like. Ow! nice sharp edge. Just decided to do my mascara. I actually used something new today, which is this LASHFOOD Conditioning Collagen Lash Primer. I never use lash primers ever, but I tried it. I've been trying out this LASHFOOD brand from Ulta. I think I showed you guys in my haul, and I've really been liking the serum that I put on at night, so I'm trying this, and it seemed to work really well right now. It really kind of lengthened already. I know it's supposed to be like you use it a few times for it to work, but it actually is already working. And then I went over with some Makeup Forever mascara. This isn't my favorite mascara. Just use whatever your favorite mascara is, honestly. I don't really buy a lot of high-end mascara. You guys know that because I go through it so fast. But this is the Smokey Extravagant Mascara. Use whatever you like, whatever you have. Honestly, this is not my favorite mascara by means. It's just the one I'm using. I'm not going to open a new one. And then I'm going to go in with this House of Lashes Smoky Muse Lash. So excited to try this lash. I haven't tried any other lashes from House of Lashes besides the Iconics, so I'm excited to try these different ones out. I have a ton of other lashes, I just haven't used them yet, just because they last so long, they're really good quality, and I haven't really been digging into my other pairs, but this is what they look like. They look like they're super pretty and super natural looking, but really dramatic at the same time, so I'm gonna go ahead and put them on and see what they look like. Okay, so I just applied these eyelashes. They're really pretty. They're super natural. Not supernatural, but super natural. They can be whatever you want them to be. But they're really pretty. They're very natural. I have a lot of fallout under my eyes. I know you can't really see it probably, but I have a lot of fallout. So when that happens, I get some Bioderma and a Q-tip, and I go in, and I like to use this as opposed to an eye makeup remover, because with eye makeup removers, it leaves kind of like a greasy, oily residue kind of on your skin after you're done using it, and I don't want that because I'm about to go in with foundation. So I like to use Bioderma because it's like a non-rinse solution. See all that fallout right there that's on there? You can kind of see compared, see all that fallout. So I always like to go in and make sure that I get all of that because I don't want it to, you know, mess up my foundation. I already have my primer on and everything from earlier, and I want to use a foundation that's very full coverage, and I want to use a foundation that is going to last all night. I really am not going with the dewy foundation today. I'm going with more of a matte foundation, I guess you could say, just because I love dewy, but I'm already gonna be probably sweating if I'm dancing or whatever you do at prom these days, I don't know. So I'm just gonna be using my go-to Cover FX Natural Finish Oil-Free Foundation. So that oil-free foundation makes it really thick and really full coverage. I absolutely love this foundation. I'm gonna take a little bit on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna take 1 drop of the Blissful Body Beauty Oil. You can skip this step if you're a little bit oily, but I'm going to be using this because I love it, and I always use it with this foundation. I learned this method from Jaclyn Hill because she did this for the longest time. She mixed the Cover FX foundation with the beauty drops, and I really like the way that it looks when you do that. It looks really pretty. It's just so thick. It's a very thick foundation, so you don't want to, I don't know, I feel like I always have to use an oil mixed in with it because it is really thick. Very thick. And I'm just gonna use my beauty blender to blend all of that all over my face. Make sure you blend down the neck. Okay, so I'm gonna use this Naked Skin Color Correcting Fluid, and it's in the shade Peach, and this is for like dark circles under your eyes. I'm using this today because I have dark circles under my eyes. On the other hand, if you're going to prom, you probably don't have dark circles. Unless, let's say, for instance, maybe you've been cramming for finals or whatever's going on, you're writing your papers late at night, maybe you do have dark circles. I guess I didn't have that sort of issue as much in high school because I didn't really do the most. I wasn't the best student, if we want to go back in time right now, so yeah. So yeah, I didn't really have that issue, but now I do. I think it's just part of getting older, I don't know. I'm really into color correcting right now as well. It's very popular right now, and it's kind of trending in the beauty world, so I like to color correct when I feel like I need extra attention in an area. I absolutely love the Urban Decay Naked Skin line. It's really, really good. Very natural, but still full coverage. It's very pretty. So I put this on underneath my concealer. I feel like it blends the best with a beauty blender. I feel like everything blends better with a beauty blender. Okay, so next I'm gonna go in with my handy dandy concealer. And I'm going to be using the shade Light Neutral. I go through this stuff so fast, you guys. I am telling you, I'm not the type to repurchase a lot of things. Like, I like to try new things and, you know, but this is my holy grail concealer, 100%. It is just incredible. Just pat all of that in. You can take whatever left concealer you have up. You can take it up under where you're going to be doing your contour. And we're just gonna pat that into the forehead right there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna contour a little bit. I'm gonna be using contour medium number 2. My face really doesn't help. So I'm gonna contour right here. And like I said, I like it to stay back. I don't like it really, I don't like it to be drawn in too much. So right there is my contour. We're just gonna kind of blend upwards. You don't wanna blend downwards, you wanna blend upwards. Just kind of blend it in. Blend it out with this other brush. Just a little bit there. So we have a nice pretty contour. Just find the natural hollows of your cheekbones. And if you don't have any, you just make some, wherever you want them. And then I always like to do my jawline, because you want that nice and chiseled out. Okay, so what we're gonna do is obviously bake with Laura Mercier setting powder, which is the best ever. And if you don't have this, ask for it for a graduation present or something. Whoops, because it is amazing. It is so good. So what we do is we take it on our beauty blender and just press it under the eye. And this will ensure that our concealer will not crease. It'll stay all night. We can dance, we can twerk, we can do the dab, we can do whatever we want to do, and your concealer's gonna still be there. I decided to do my brows while I was baking. And so it's still baking under my eyes, and what I'm gonna do is now dust it off because it is time. And my favorite brush to use to dust it off is the Morphe M438 or the Sigma tapered highlighter. They're pretty much the same exact brush, and the Morphe one is cheaper. I actually do like the Sigma one a little bit better, not gonna lie. But if you wanna get one cheaper, then get the Morphe. But they're both good. They're pretty much the same thing. I'm just gonna show you guys how I dust off my baking powder, just in case you guys don't know, and if you haven't ever baked before. You just literally just dust it off with a brush. I mean, you don't have to use this brush. You can use whatever brush you have. But I just dust it off lightly. What I really like to do, if I really want to do the most, is I go in, because I absolutely am just obsessed with this formula for like a finishing powder. So what I do is I go in with the Shade Light Kat Von D palette. I'm just showing you guys what I'm doing. I know this is a lot of steps. You don't have to do all these steps, but this is just what I do and what I love. I feel like it adds an extra touch. So what I do is I just mix these highlighting powders together, and I just go back over some of that, just because I don't really like the translucent finish look to it all the time. Sometimes it's okay, but I love these powders. They're just incredible, and I really hope that they come out with like just the setting powders of this exact same formula, just separately, because I don't love the contour powder. You can kind of tell I don't really use them that much. They're okay, but they're not my favorite. You know, I still use them sometimes. It's a great palette regardless. I would repurchase it just for these highlight shades pretty much. But I like to go back with these powders and just kind of finish up on my highlighted areas, just because I love the way that it looks. And I'm gonna go over one time, just very ever so lightly, with another setting powder. This is the Cover FX setting powder, just because I want my makeup to stay on all night. I know it takes a long time, the extra steps and everything, but it's really gonna make a huge difference than the other girls' makeup at prom. Yours is gonna be there all night. They're gonna be like, oh my gosh, how is your makeup still there? Girl, you're gonna be like, girl, I know what I'm doing. I know how to set. Be like, get the primers, get the setting powders. It makes a big difference. I'm gonna warm up my face using Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion. This is just a really nice formula. It's really finely milled. Yeah, it's really, really pretty. So I'm just gonna dust this over. I like to warm up my face with this because it's kind of just got like this sheen to it. It's just very natural. So I lightly go over just the areas of my face that I want to be warmed up. I can loosely kind of contour without being sharp or anything. This is just warming up the skin. Warming up the skin, just prepping it for contour. I'm gonna stick with my tried and true NARS Laguna bronzer. You can see I've really been using this Guerlain bronzer for a while, but I just feel like it's a little too red for today. See, it's so red. We're gonna go back and kind of set that contour that we did with the cream products. We're gonna loosely just go over. We don't want our contour to be sloppy. We want it to be very carefully placed. You want all the girls to come up to you and be like, your contour is on point. So now we're gonna just contour up on the temples of our forehead and kind of the sides of our forehead right there. And then of course going back and just reinforcing that jaw. But any brush you have, like this Morphe brush is also really good. This is the M523. This is also great for contouring. I just really like the NARS ITA brush because it's more detailed. But that's not the one that I use all the time. I mean, I use this one sometimes as well. I just feel like this is something more so when I don't want like a really sharp contour. But it's also really pretty too, so we're just doing a very slight bakage under the contour just to sharpen it. We want it very sharp. We want it to cut a bitch. Okay, so we're just going to press it right there. I'm not gonna bring it all the way down. I'm just gonna bring it right there. I don't want it all the way down or anything. Like that's far enough right there. That's good, it's sharp, it's cool. We're gonna dust off in just a minute. And I'm gonna be using the BECCA Champagne Glow Palette. This is the best thing ever. I love it so much. BECCA makes the best highlighters ever. They're my favorite in the whole world. There's some other close seconds. There's some really good other highlighters out there, but BECCA, just, their formula is just incredible. It's just incredible. I absolutely love it. So what I'm going to do is actually mix all these three shades together. It really kind of makes Champagne Pop if you really think of it, but Champagne Pop is mainly what I'm using. It's my absolute favorite highlighter of all time. I love it so much. And yeah, I want my highlighter to be like glowing from within. So I'm mixing them all three, ending on Champagne Pop. Dust that off. And we're going to go in and highlight. Kind of patting it. I'm working it up in that temple right there. And just bringing it down. I'm going to bring it down kind of low. You see that highlight though? And I'm just going to take some kind of right there on the brush and then bring it on the bridge of my nose. Right there. And then you got that nose highlight popping. Cupid's bow highlight really makes like a world of difference. It really does. If you have smaller lips like me, you probably want to use your finger or a more detailed brush because my lips are pretty small. Now it's time to dust off the bakage. All you do is you just take the brush like that and just blend it out. There you go. I like to go in with my bronzer brush and kind of just blend it, make sure that there's no powder residue left. You don't want it to look totally unnatural with that translucent powder just because it is very like white. Even though it's translucent, it leaves kind of a white powder, so you want to kind of blend it. So for blush, my go-tos always are MAC blushes. I just love them. They're my favorite. And which one should I use today? I'm gonna actually use like a really subtle blush today. And this is one of my favorites of all time, and I'm using my little MAC palette, and I'm gonna use Melba right there just because I really like the way it looks without any harsh like colors or anything like that. So I'm just gonna be using the MAC Melba. These are a great formula because they are just so pigmented, but then there's not a lot of that fallout, so you know that they're high quality. And they're not messy or anything like that. Like when I tap into them, dust doesn't go everywhere. Like they're really great quality. So what I do is I have it on my brush, and I know it's dirty, you guys, I'm sorry. And so then I just kind of dust it on. You just kind of dust it like that. So it just kind of gives a subtle color, and you just blend it. You don't want it to be too much. You don't want it to be blotchy. You want it to be very natural looking right under that highlight. So it all kind of, you know, comes together and becomes this beautiful thing on your face. I go back into this color right here, which is Sora, right here. And then I'm going to add it to my lower lash line just to kind of warm it up, just like I did with my upper lid area. And we're just going to blend, blend, blend. Okay, so if you want to keep it very neutral and whatnot, you can just keep it here and put on your lower lash mascara, call it a day. But I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I got a request for a neutral look with a pop color, so I'm going to actually add that pop color in this look today. So now I'm gonna be using a color that is very different. It is absolutely gorgeous, and it is called Insomnia, and it is a Makeup Geek. I think they're really well known for it with their loose pigments, I can't talk today. But this is actually a foiled eyeshadow, so I'm just using a little smudge brush, and I'm going to add it to the very outer part of my eye, and just adding it out there. Just kind of gives a little bit of something different. Next I'm going to be taking, which this is like the real pop of color right here. Next I'm going to be taking this color, which is like probably one of my favorites in this whole palette, and it's called Mars. It's this nice red in the middle. So I'm just kind of adding it to the center of the eye right here. Adding it to the center of the eye. And I'll blend it out in just a second. I'm really glad that I went in with the detailed crease brush because the other brush is just a little too big for this color. This color is just super pigmented. Okay, so that's about how much I want. And I'm gonna go in with just any blending brush. I'm gonna be taking the Morphe M519 and just kind of blending that out. And honestly, even though I'm using this red color because I love it, you can use whatever color you want. If you have a purple dress, you can incorporate purple. If you have a green dress, you can use like an olive green, or you can do blue. Whatever you want to do, whatever, if you want to match your dress, or if you don't even want to do any color, that's up to you. So this is just something that I kind of added. I really like to incorporate colors on the lower lash line just because it can be really subtle and not overpowering. So that is my little tip that I like to do. And I'm just gonna be taking this lightest shade in this palette. It's called Artemis. It's right there. And it's actually a dupe for MAC Nylon. So any shimmery eyeshadow that is a pale bone color or whatever you can use. You don't have to use any of these colors, but these are just my favorites right now, and this is what I would use if I was going to prom right now. So I'm just taking that into the inner corner of my eye just to make it pop and give it some extra just little poppage right there. You see the difference? It kind of opens up your eye just a little bit more. And I'm going to add it to just the brow bone, but I'm only adding it really to the center of the brow bone and kind of feathering it out, or just kind of blending it out, like putting most of the product just up in that brow bone. And for the waterline of my eye, I'm actually going to be using this NARS Rouge Bonaparte. I haven't actually used it in a while, but it really opens up your eye. I'm going to add some bottom lash mascara. I'm going to be using this primer by LASHFOOD. I'm going to finish off the look by using this Urban Decay Chill Makeup Setting Spray, cooling and hydrating. Now I'm going to add my lipstick. So I decided I wanted to go with a very, very great neutral color that I'm obsessed with, and it's by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it's Pure Hollywood liquid lipstick. So it's a really good formula, and it's a really great neutral color. And I'm just going to go ahead and add that to my lips. Okay guys, so this is the finished look that I came up with. It's very smoky, edgy, sexy, but very neutral at the same time. It's not anything way too over the top, and I really love it. I absolutely love this look. I would wear this every day. I would wear this out on the town. I know it's a little much for day makeup, but I absolutely love it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know if you guys recreate this look. Please don't forget to tag me or send me pictures. I would love to see your pictures. Don't forget to follow me on Snapchat and Instagram, you guys. Please snap me and Instagram me. Don't forget to tag me, and don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. Thank you guys so much again for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.